man, boys and girls, pimps and simps. Welcome back to the Mac Life, the #1 channel here on YouTube. Today's video, we're looking at the 10 things you need to know before starting OnlyFans. Now, I recently dropped a video just like this, but we're going to have a look through what Alana Cole has to say about it. So I think she's a pretty big OnlyFans creator. You know, she's got a nice size YouTube following, 47K. And she drops a lot of videos. I've seen her ranking for different things. So this is the first one of hers that I've watched. We're going to see what her tips are like, and then I'm going to give some critiques and feedback and see if I agree. Obviously, you know, I work with seven-figure creators in the OnlyFans industry. You know, on top of that, I have a private Discord. We got over 500 members now of creators and managers doing 6 and 7 figures a year on OnlyFans. So I can give some valuable insight here. And on top of that, for credibility, you know, I've run e-com stores that do 6 and 7 figures online using every type of paid ads. You could think about TikTok, YouTube, everything. So let's get into it. I am going to leave a comment. I like to always leave a comment, just a bit of, you know, niceties, bit of respect. And thanks for the video, Alana. Alan. No. Why do I feel like it's missing an N? Thanks for the video, Alana. Why is that so complicated? Thanks for the video, Alana. Dropping a reaction one on my channel. If you're wondering why my brain is foggy, it's because I just filmed like a 50-minute podcast. It was massive today. And after this, I've got another reaction video and then another reaction video. We'll be looking at Hustlers University 3.0 plus another OnlyFans How to Make Money guide. So that being said, let's get into it. Hit subscribe if you want OnlyFans advice and stuff like that as well. I drop new videos every single day, 4 videos a day on average.
Hello, welcome to my new apartment, by the way. I'm planning to do an apartment tour soon. Anyway, today's video is going to be 10 things.
Also, unfortunately, I have to skip and pause a little bit so YouTube just doesn't ruin me for using someone else's video.
That I wish I knew before I started OnlyFans. And I'm saying 10 things only because that's the title that was popular, but there's actually like 12 or 13 things.
She's giving additionals.
If you guys haven't seen the other videos in my OnlyFans series,
does she do like a little number or something?
If you want to check it out. Content and maybe spreading it out a little bit, even if it is throughout the day, not doing it all at once. I thought I already knew going into it, but for some reason it didn't really hit me until I was in it. People in your daily life, people from your high school, your friend, people in your life are going to go on your OnlyFans. Whether
100%. You know, if you're not comfortable with people finding out that you have OnlyFans, you shouldn't be in the business at all. If you're worried about your family finding out, your friends finding out, you need to be a sensible adult and realize that it's going to get shared. And, okay, you're putting caps on the amount of money you can make. Because if I said to you, I can blast you out to the entire world. Every single person will see that you're on OnlyFans. You're going to earn a substantial amount of money. But that includes your family, friends, everyone you've known. If you don't want them to see, okay, you're already putting a cap on yourself. You may as well participate in fucking a lawn mowing business where you have 100%, you know, freedom and morality, and you can go all out and become the best lawnmower in the town.
Whether you like it or not, I knew that this was going to happen, but I didn't realize to the extent. Well, I was getting my...
See, I like the edits as well. Like, it's simple editing. It's just jump cuts and zooms. I just can't be fucked doing these on YouTube because I put out so much content a day that, and I can't be bothered fucking getting an editor because then it's going to go between them, and plus people seem to like organic, but I like the minimal style editing that she's got here with the zooms.
Myself into literally friends are on my OnlyFans. Luckily, I'm the person that I am, that I don't care. But I
actually like the hand tats too.
Somebody else, that's something I
like
wish
Jack Sparrow.
I would have known before. I just think it's important to know people in your life are going to see it, and you can choose to block them if you want to, but you're not always going to know what their usernames are.
We'll just make a new
and they
account.
can definitely make new accounts and see your content anyways. Definitely people I never thought would have been on my OnlyFans have been on my OnlyFans.
I don't fucking even have OnlyFans.
Like, I'm telling you, like people I know, like friends, have been on my OnlyFans. You just wouldn't guess it, you know?
Dating sucks. Let's be alone forever together. Together forever. I think it should have went.
Harder for me, actually. It is what it is. Dating has already been hard for me because I'm pansexual, and that's a whole nother story. If you want to see that video, it's linked. But dating has been even more difficult with an OnlyFans because not everyone understands it, not everyone accepts that. and not everyone wants to be associated with that, and that is totally fine.
I like it. She's actually said that's totally fine for once. Someone actually taking accountability that everything you do has consequences, okay? If you're participating in the world's easiest industry to make money, honestly, and if you say, oh, but OnlyFans isn't easy, you have to learn how to market. You're in a business that is highly lucrative, extremely lucrative. You're selling content that costs nothing to make or a little bit of time, okay? You can mass sell that exact same piece of content. You can charge any price point you like. You have essentially no customer service. Your customers are actually in love with you. You're in the easiest industry in the world, okay? When you have all these things stacked in your favor, there's going to be some negatives also that come across. That's just the way the world works. For every, action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That's just the law of physics. And I like to see that this chick's taking some fucking accountability. I don't see that in many videos, so.
But it's something that I wish I would have known before. Not that it would have changed anything, but is this something to think about if you are getting into OnlyFans? Your relationships and dynamics with people definitely change. Even if you're not popping your on OnlyFans, like, people still have a problem with it, and that just is what it is. There's a stigma against it, and so dating has definitely been more difficult. I'm editing right.
I don't like the word stigma against it. There's a stigma against everything. It's the sex industry. You're working in the sex industry. Whether or not you say, yeah, but I only do lingerie photos, you're still participating in the sexual industry. You're selling that content knowing full well that some dude's going to jerk off over it and you're going to make money. Okay, or some chick's going to finger blast herself and you're going to make money. You're in the sexual industry.
Now, and I forgot to say that a lot of my friends that do OnlyFans, they are actually dating and they are straight.
Did she just color in that tattoo since that video?
Easier if you are straight, but
wasn't it like black a second ago?
as someone who dates women,
She'll not notice that way. Let me go back.
And dynamics.
Is that colored in?
Is this something to?
Why am I focusing on this?
Popping your
Is that colored? It looks black and grey.
OnlyFans,
I don't know.
People still have a problem with it.
So it's a myth. Oh my god, YouTube. We need to get YouTube red. I told you, but the problem is that you already know. I like seeing these ads because I use them to determine how well people are doing, how long they're running their ads, all certain things.
From the beginning, that pay-per-view message.
Let me know in the comments if I need YouTube red.
And all of that type of thing. There will be a whole video on this. You can check that out. But I wish all these extra ways to make money on OnlyFans, I wish I would have known that when I started, because I think I would have been able to make a lot more money straight away right from the beginning, whereas it kind of was a slow progression for me.
You should make money very, very quick with OnlyFans if you know what you're doing. The majority of money, 80% comes from messages and tips. Only 20% is subscription based. You need to understand essentially how to minimize your churn rate by offering incentives. And then on top of that, nearly every single girl that I talk to, and this is like creators that are doing 7 figures a year. You got to think creators that are turning over millions of dollars a year. They don't have a back-end system. They don't have a back-end system for upsells, okay? They don't offer upsells that can also basically be sold for thousands of dollars. And I'm talking upsells like that are super simple. Used panties and clothing, if you're comfortable with it. Phone calls, Zoom sessions, whatever you want, okay? And you can make serious money with the upsell side of things with a good back-end system. And you can automate those flows with emails and everything as well. And charging the right amount of money, pricing as a premium.
I had to learn all these tips and tricks and like how to make money aside from just the subscription. I had to learn that along my journey this whole year that I've been on.
I like the ink combination as well. It's got like, I don't know, it's like Jack Sparrow fucking tattoos. Kick your ass into gear, bitch, because you're about to work.
It is a full-time job. Like, I know I said I only spend a day on all my content, like all at once, and that's what I've been doing through this whole year, basically.
Smart content creation in bulk.
Making the content,
a day a month, really.
Editing the content, marketing your content, making friends in the community so that you can like promote all these different things aside from just creating content, messaging people. Like, it's a full-time job, and you have to be your own marketing team. You have to be your own editing.
And this is why, I'm so big on OnlyFans agencies and so big on OnlyFans management consultancies, because if I could essentially say to you, I'm going to give you back all of your time and you're going to make more profit and your customers will be happier, and I can guarantee that 100%, or you don't pay anything, who's going to say no to that? The only reason you'd say that is because you're egotistical or you don't believe that it'll work. So as long as, you can prove that it's going to work with 100% guarantee and that they've got their... I dropped the penny in every video. I actually caught it this time. I seen it on the video and I fucking caught it. We're going to have to replay that. Yeah, as long as the girl's got her head screwed on that you're working with, or dude, okay, that's why agencies offer such amount of value if they know what they're doing.
Team, you have to be your own cameraman if you don't have someone to do it for you. Like, you have to be everything, and so it is a full-time job, and I wish I would have known that from the beginning, because I think in the beginning I would have put more energy into it, knowing.
You know, I think the video is ranking so high as well. Like, she's saying it's smart how many times she said in the beginning, and YouTube search optimization now is starting to rank for like words that you say in your videos. In the beginning, she said it like 38 times, and I think she's doing it intentionally.
That I could make a full-time living off of it, and I think from the beginning I would have been able to like do it really quick, whereas I think it took me like 3 months, 4 months to make it a full-time job.
That's still really quick. It's just your comparison standards. You realize like 95% of small businesses go under within the first 3 years, and most of them don't turn a profit in their first year. And you're turning a business, which is essentially what OnlyFans is. It's not a job, it's a business, and you're turning that into something that can provide you a full-time income within 3 months. That's insanely quick, but it can be even quicker if you know what you're doing. I get what she's saying.
Whereas I think you can do it within 2 months. Like, you can make it a full-time job.
You can do it within month 1 if you know what you're doing, okay? And you don't need a social following. A lot of girls think, yeah, but you do not need a social following. You can use the Tinder method that I show. Okay, there are multiple ways in which you can start making money day 1. You know, we have girls that come on board and then they're doing, 5 figures their first month, and then by month 3 they're doing 6 figures. 6 figures, okay? A month. That's 7 figures a year.
If you put your heart and soul into it.
Others are insecure, but you are a bad bitch.
This one is another personal one. You cannot control how others perceive you, but you can control how you perceive yourself.
What a bang quote. I thought this was going to go down a horrible direction based. I thought she was going to be like, preach it, girl. You're a queen. And then she's just like dropped some Plato level philosophical shit on us.
And I think this is a big one for me that I wish I would have known going into it, and had to learn along the way, is that I cannot care what anyone else thinks of me as long as I think I'm a good person and I'm treating people with respect and doing my best as a human.
And I want to add in something else for this inside of this business. Have an exit strategy, okay? Whether that's your exit strategy is you want to do this forever, you want it to be your full-time income forever until you die, that's fine. But have a clear set of goals. Have a clear strategy, okay, that you can tie your morality to. Otherwise, you'll just further walk down a line of decrepity until and it's the same as anything in life. If you don't know your values, you might see like a bank door open one day. And if you don't have a really strong value saying that you would never steal, okay, and you don't believe it's right to steal, when the opportunity presents itself, you'll find yourself skirting that line. So you need to have strong values tied into what you believe. And the only way to do that is through heavy introspection of yourself constantly, week to week, month to month, asking yourself why enough times to get to the root cause of anything, and then tying values around that. This is some deep level OnlyFans shit today.
For the time that I'm here, like, that's all I can do, and I can't worry about what other people are gonna think.
In terms of all the OnlyFans girls I've done reaction videos to, this chick seems to have the most, internal clarity compared to anyone. And I feel, that, people don't understand how much that correlates with success in business and success in life, because making money, is it's part of the scoreboard, but success in life is like the key thing. So, I think she got her head screwed on pretty well.
Think of me. I've been pretty good at this, but I think it gets harder as you get into it and as more and more people see what you're doing or they hear about what you're doing. It gets harder at the same time as it gets easier. It gets harder because there's more people that are going to...
Same as like building any social brand online. Eventually you become numb to the hate. I used to sit there and I used to say I was impervious to the hate, and I used to comment and I used to reply and I used to do this shit. And essentially it gets to the point where you realize you've just hit such a large amount of data coming in each day, positivity, negativity, that it really is just data. And you don't, as long as you have a strong sense of self-worth, it's just nothing. It becomes data, and the money is just the scoreboard.
Think of you in a certain way, but it also gets easier because you have the time to really grow within who you are and also just accept who you are. And you already told a million people, like, this is what I do and that's that. So it does get easier in that sense, but it also gets harder because there's more and more people that are going to find out throughout time.
Don't waste your precious time on something that's not working. Very, very important. And before she gets into this good point, I also want to repeat something that's very, very important is when something is working, don't chase the new shiny object, okay? Repeat successful actions and repeat boring actions. Do the boring work again and again and again. You don't know how many girls are inside the hive mind that will be like, I made $300 today. Oh my God, now I'm looking at TikTok. And I'm like, and then they message a few days later, oh, my sales are down. I'm like, well, were you doing what you were doing before? No, I've been focusing on TikTok. Why? You were doing 100K a year. You were making $300 a day from what you were doing before. Scaling in itself provides complexity. So just do the boring, successful shit again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And еще раз. You know? И снова again and again and again.
I wish I would have known that Reddit was just not for me. And I've heard this from other girls too, but I've also heard the complete opposite where they're like, oh my gosh, I've gained...
I'm going to glance over this point because, you know, like this is a year ago, you know, marketing strategies change day to day, but frameworks don't. That's why I like to talk about frameworks mostly on the channel. Marketing strategy, if you want to know the current best way to make money, long term, TikTok and YouTube, and TikTok short term with paid ads. Short term, very quick, day to day, you make money same day, no social following, Tinder. Use Tinder, drive them to Snapchat, Snapchat to a Linktree link to Onlyfans. Very, very simple. It's simple, but it's not easy. It takes a large amount of repetitive action, which a lot of people don't want to put in. Okay, let's glance over this point. I know I'm skipping your point. It was probably a decent point too, but for the sake of time.
Your energy into that, because that is what's going to help you grow.
Another ad. She's getting paid for this ad right now, and you're watching this ad. Well, I'm watching this ad. You've probably already watched an ad on my channel before watching this ad. We're watching another ad, but we're watching it together. You know what? Since these will be the last few times we have ads, see, these are the ones that captivate my attention because I look through and I see how long they run them for. I see where they're heading. I see these things. No! Right, we're good. Where were we? These are the last times we're going to get to watch these ads together, okay? Because I'm going to get YouTube red, so let's just enjoy it.
Started happening to me, I freaked out.
Wait, what was her point? They come, they go, it's not the end of the world.
When it started happening to me, I freaked out, but it is that you are going to lose subscribers consistently, and that doesn't mean that it's going to be a bad month. It can still be a good month.
I've written this down. I actually talked about it. I wrote this down in today's podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, the number one thing that you need to understand in a business like this where you have a reoccurring subscription, what the terminology, she might say it, but what she's searching for is the word churn. Understand that every single business in the world has churn, the largest companies, and your job, you should never say, I don't have anything to do today. You should always be working to minimize churn. You do that through customer success, okay? You do that through incentivization. Churn is essentially the amount of people that leave each month. And most people focus on bringing in new customers, where at a certain point, it's actually far more profitable to just reduce your churn rate. And you can do that with reminders, reaching out to people at the end of the month, offering them incentives to stay on for longer, a whole range of different things. Reciprocity bias, giving them a little something for free, okay? Giving incentives for longer periods of staying on, like discounts, or you know, maybe sending them an item or a free phone call or something like that, whatever it is that you want to offer. But you essentially need to understand churn and figure out how you can apply it to your business.
Ow, my hair. It doesn't mean that it's going to be a bad month just because you see that you're losing subscribers. You can still make it a good month. You just have to keep promoting so that you keep getting new subscribers. See,
this is the thing, is all I don't want to say all girls. You know what? I'm going to generalize. Nearly every girl I fucking spoke to, this is their combative method. And it's not like, I say all girls because that's who I work with within this industry. But this is what all people focus on is, I'm losing customers, I just need to promote and get more. But what you don't understand is, if you don't combat your churn, you're going to reach a point where essentially you've stalemated yourself. If you have 10 customers join a month on average and you have 2 leave, okay? You have to understand that if you have 10 on average join a month, and I'm just this very small, so my monkey brain can work with these numbers. You have 2 leave, okay? The next month you gain 10, but now you have 4 leaving on average. Okay, then you gain 10, and then you have 6 leaving. And you gain 10, and you have 8 leaving. Then you gain 10, and you have 10 leaving. Then you gain 10, you have 10 leaving. Then you gain 10, you have 10 leaving. You see what happens is you reach a point, okay, essentially where You aren't growing anymore because you're only replacing your amount of churn with new customers. And you can work that out very quickly. You need a few months data to understand this, but you need to have things in place to combat churn. It's something that I consult with these girls and I teach them very quickly, is you need to have a process in place to reduce churn.
I wish that's something I knew, because in the beginning, I wasn't really losing subscribers. It wasn't until I was growing and growing and growing, and then I started realizing I'm also losing and losing and losing at the same time. It's kind of a constant battle, but it's slowly getting bigger and bigger numbers at the same time. So, you know, 1 month might not be so great and you might lose 20 subscribers, but in the same month you might gain 45. So you're still gonna gain, but you're still gonna lose, and it's hard to see the number go up and down, up and down.
See, she hasn't, like, I can tell that she understands, but she just doesn't understand the concept of churn. There's nothing wrong with that. We're all here to learn. I've just come across like the most dickhead. You need to understand churn very, very quickly, because all that effort that you're putting into gaining new subscribers, if instead you would have reduced your churn by 50%, okay, and now you're only losing, she said she was losing, I think she said 20 and 45. If you were instead to reduce your churn by 50%, now you're only losing 10 customers. That is extremely more profitable over time compared to just adding in an additional 10 customers, an additional 5 customers. And to add on, finally, it's a lot easier to reduce churn than it is to constantly search for new acquisition. Bigger platforms and bigger companies know at scale, client acquisition or the first sale from a customer is the most expensive thing. But to be able to remarket to people, okay, is a lot cheaper. And you can do this via SMS blasts, email blasts. And this is why I talk about collecting data and collecting different points of data collection. Russell Brunson talks about this, and he talks about moving from, you know, traffic that you rent to traffic that you own. And I recommend his book. He talks about that, I believe, in maybe Traffic Secrets or .com Secrets. Great read.
Because you don't want to lose any subscribers. You want to keep them around every single month. But it's gonna happen, and that's just is what it is, honestly. I just wish I would have known that, because I freaked out. Even though
this is the only point I kind of disagree with. I get you talking about it from a mindset point, but it's not. It is what it is. It's a problem that you need to address consistently and daily. Okay, churn.
My revenue and
all right, next one.
But you're gonna lose too, and that's just.
You're not just gonna lose too. No, we're just gonna scrap that point. We're gonna change it. Everything else has been good. Okay, you're going to work to reduce your churn. Remember this angry face. This is the face of someone who is churning out. You're not going to be that angry.
It's okay.
Don't give it all up on the first date. Extremely important. This I agree. Like she's pretty much saying all the things I talk about. You know, dude, if someone wants a fucking video of you fingering your ass, say you're comfortable putting that out, you do not give that up straight away. Charge them first to see you in lingerie, then charge to see topless, then charge to see this, then charge to see that. Move them up what we call the content hierarchy, okay? Because you're going to maximize their LTV as a customer, their lifetime value, by adding in all these additionals. I'm going to glance over this point simply, you know, like I said, the sake of speed, because I have more videos to film. So we're just going to listen to our last couple points here, and then we're done, skis.
Ask your followers, what do you want to see? Investing your money that you make into your business is super important.
Mm-hmm.
So use the money you make for promotion, and use the money you make for new fits, new equipment, whatever that might be, because then you are able to better yourself, and people are going to want to stick around if the content.
Just don't. Okay, this is one that I have to battle with girls. We battle with this on a level. They talk about investing into the business, but most of the investments are pleasure related rather than it actually being an investment standpoint. They say, yeah, well, I'm going out and buying new lingerie, the newest Honeybird debt fucking outfits. My guys are going to love this. No, you're going to love this. You're going to love the $250 you just spent per piece of lingerie times 10, where really the majority of dudes are there for a certain thing, connection, okay? And they don't care if you're in a fucking, $2 Shein panties. So really, don't judge, like, you're allowed to. You're allowed to be sexy. You're allowed to do these things. You're allowed to invest in yourself. Just don't tell yourself that it's an investment, when the investment could be better spent, buying Shein panties or whatever, and then selling them as well as used panties and upsell that at thousands of dollars. But I do agree with the premises of investing into your business. But recently I had a mindset shift as well, from running e-com stores where we generate 7 figures. We did 1.265 million on a pet bed store. The problem is when you constantly reinvest back into ad spend, back into all these things, you're left with a profit. And really investing in your business, and I didn't really understand this concept because it's constantly something that's hammered into us. I didn't understand this very well until it was told to me in a video by my business mentor, Alex Hormozzi. Turns over $150+ million a year. And he was saying that usually someone who just says invest in their business just doesn't have a profitable business, because you want to take home as much as possible. The idea of business is to take home as much money as possible. The only reason you invest in a business is so that the money you take home later on gets bigger, which means you're going to exit the company or whatever. So you want to invest as minimal as possible, leverage, for the maximal amount of money. And it took me only till this year to really understand that. And when I focused more on decreasing my overheads and maximizing the amount of money I take home, my business has become wildly profitable. Like, I'm talking business. You know, I have businesses now that turn over $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month with 90% profit margins.
It keeps getting better. If I would have started over from the beginning, I would have found a niche first, because I think niche OnlyFans do really, really well. And I wish I would have had one. I don't really know what I would have picked, but if you can think of a niche that works for you, you should.
It can, but it can't. You know, a niche, you know, you're limiting the size of your audience. You're limiting the potential of people that want to come across. Whereas I feel personally within the OnlyFans industry, it should be broad. You should be targeting broad, because there's really only two things dudes are looking for: connection and climax. And if dudes want that niche thing, say, for example, someone's like, oh, babe, I want to see you in a fucking Spider-Woman outfit. You're like, okay, buy it for me. Plus the custom video is, you know, $500, the outfit. And then on top of that, I'm going to send you it afterwards because I want you to fucking put it on your face while you jerk off or whatever. That's another $500. And then you can upsell.
Do it.
Okay, last tip.
I used to not really focus on captions. I just didn't really care. And then one day I was like, oh, I want to like switch it up and like say something fun and fresh, something funky. Now I really do pay attention to what I'm saying in the captions, because after I did it for the first time, my followers were way more engaged.
100%. You know, I already know what she's saying. Like, I'm sorry to cut her off, but the last point, like, and then we're going to wrap up this video, is that the way the newspapers describe it is, for every dollar, okay, that they pay their advertising agencies, 80 cents goes into the title and only 20 cents goes into the body. So 20% of it is the body text. 80 cents of that dollar is spent coming up with the best title possible. And you want to invoke curiosity, you want to invoke emotion, okay? Especially inside of the sexual industry, curiosity is the best way, or scarcity, okay? You know, if you're saying like, I'm only letting 5 guys see this picture of me. This one was too dirty. I'm only letting 5 of you guys see this. Hit me up fast, okay? You've hit urgency, you've hit scarcity, okay? Curiosity bias as well. And as I say, curiosity killed the cat, but it also made you a fat stack bag of cash.
In the post.
Okay, last one.
Commenting.
What do we got? Yes, the best message here. We don't even need to listen to what she said. I already, you know, I agree with 99% of the things this creator said already. This first video I've seen, I'm probably the most impressed by her out of any one of the creators that I've reviewed recently. Be on it. Stay consistent. Repeat boring actions again and again and again. Okay, and you'll reap the rewards long term. So, Alana Cole, that was a fucking fantastic video. Bang on. I would love to see your metrics. You know, we can keep it on the DL. We can do an NDA or whatever, but reach out to me if you get the message. I would love to see how much money you're generating, and I feel like based on just a few small things like churn rate, maybe pricing is usually a thing as well. We could definitely pump up your earnings massively. I can give you a few tips in that regard. I'm already working with another creator that I did a video on like recently in the last week. She's reached out to me on Insta, so we'll be working together most likely. And I'll be filming a video showing the whole process of her earnings, and then based on the strategies that we implement, a back-end system and everything, how much more money she makes. So, that being said, I hope you found some value in today's video. It's quite a big one, but yeah, that's what we're here for. We're here to drop these daily reaction videos, hustling, growing out the content. Hit subscribe for more OnlyFans content, as well as everything business in general. I do this shit daily, so see you all in the next one. Paka paka.